Good morning, Julie.
Good morning, Emily.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good.
Thanks for taking the time to answer a question for us today.
You bet.
First, though, can you tell us your name and a little bit about what you do here at Microsoft?
My name is Julie Johns, and I'm an HR manager in the studios. And I've been in staffing and HR for about 14 years.
Wow.
5 of them at Microsoft.
Awesome. Okay, so I have a question from our LinkedIn community. This community member would like to know, what advice do you have for job seekers that are attending larger networking events like E3, for example?
Yeah, so I think the best approach is to actually research the companies that are going to be in attendance and figure out what companies are interesting to you, what roles they might have open, and try to connect with a recruiter if possible prior to going to the event and try to set up meetings in advance. And if you're not able to do that from a time perspective, then I would recommend just getting to the information booths on the particular companies that you're looking at and talking to the front desk people. I personally am manning an information booth and I'm a recruiter, so it works out, but people will tend to bring recruiting or HR or some sort of people that they can let candidates talk to at the show. So I think that just kind of finding out from the people at the booth if they have anyone they can talk to. The downside sometimes if you don't try to find those folks in advance is when you try to get to the booth and talk to folks, they're already pre-booked, pretty busy, and the booths are pretty chaotic when the show opens. So the best approach is to try to get names, meetings, and even some coffees set up with the various folks at the companies that you're looking to network with. But a lot of times, you know, they do have some breaks, and managers that are hiring are always happy to talk to candidates if they can find the time. So being able to kind of pop in and see if they can, maybe you can come back at another time or even like the next day and try to fit yourself into their schedule.
That's really helpful. One quick question. As far as connecting with folks ahead of time, do you have any suggestions for the best way to do that? Would that be using LinkedIn or?
Yeah, I would recommend LinkedIn. I love the tool myself, so I use it. I've used it forever, and I think it's really important to try to look at who works at those companies. And connecting with a recruiter is always a good thing because they have those relationships with the managers, and sometimes managers do get a ton of LinkedIn requests or invites, and it's not really their MO because they're not in recruiting. Some of them are really good at recruiting, so they enjoy that, and some of them get kind of bogged down with those sorts of emails and requests. So if you try to find a staffing person, it's usually a really great way to find out more information and kind of get in with that particular company. So LinkedIn, and then sometimes, you know, Facebook has, you know, events posted. So you could look for, you know, for example, an Xbox event or whatever other company you might want to work for, and see if they have events posted to where you can RSVP and attend a mixer, because sometimes they have open networking events. A lot of them are pre-invite, but some of them are open as well. And then, I mean, even Twitter, I mean, I personally don't know a ton about it, so I'm not going to really speak to it, but I know that there's other ways in which you can find out things that are going on at these conferences that are social events and networking events, and kind of knowing where people are staying, too. The JW Marriott is like the place to be in the evenings during the week of E3. So if you go to the lobby bar, a lot of times there's a ton of people there that are kind of out of their work element. They're relaxing after a long day, and it might be a great way to meet people that way too.
Awesome, Julie. Thanks. I feel like you just gave us sort of the insider scoop.
Don't tell anybody I told you to go to the bar.
We appreciate that so much. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks.